Mm. So today we'll try to complete row level security. Like anyone have any idea like what is row level security?
For maybe editing purpose, like who can view the data source and who cannot, and like maybe have access to backend.
Yeah, like similar kind, but yeah, that's correct. But yeah, so like the simple example is so we have Amazon, right? So we all have like Amazon app in our
Account.
yeah Amazon account, right? So for example, when person one logs into Amazon, he can see his own orders. So what are the orders he placed earlier, right? So he can see his own orders actually. He can't see person two orders. Other person orders he can't see. So that is the row level security. So when person two logs in to Amazon, he can see his own orders only, not the other person orders. So that type of security we have to implement. So that is called a row level security. So first let me connect to a sample superstore. So like in the data source, when I drag customer name into the row shelf, and order IDs, for example, and sales. So in the data source, we have data related to all customers, and we have to develop a dashboard like this only. So we have to develop a worksheet with all customers and their order IDs and their sales information. But what is the thing is, whenever a particular customer logs into Tableau server, he should be able to see only his own data. Similarly, when Aaron Hawkins logs into the Tableau server, he should be able to see only his own data, not the others' data. So that type of security we have to implement. So not only related to customers, for example, if I go to one more sheet, so we have regions, and in each region we have different categories are there. So like this, and so for example, for each region we have managers. So I have region manager field is there. So if I drag manager field into the row shelf, I can see for each region, he is the manager. For South region, he is the manager. So the East region manager should able to see only his own region data, not the other region's data. Similarly, the South region manager, when he logs into the Tableau server and when he try to access this particular dashboard, he should be able to see only his South region data only, not the remaining regions data. So like that type of role security we have to implement actually. So in sheet 3, we have taken customers and their order IDs, and in sheet 4, we have taken region-wise managers. So to implement this type of row level security, in Tableau, we have three options. So we have username function is there. Using username function, we can implement that user level row level security. So that is one type of function we can use. And one more thing, one more option we have is create user filter option. So this is one option uh, used for implementing the row level security. And third one is this function. So username and is member, these two are functions, and create user filter. This is an option provided by Tableau. So first we will see this simple one, create user filter option. So I can go to Tableau. Okay. Uh, my what is the role of security we have to implement is a particular region manager should be able to see his own data only. Okay. So what how to implement this is I can go to menu option in the Tableau server. Sorry, in the menu I can see server option is there. In the server option, first we have to sign into a particular server, whether it is a development server, a QA server, or production server. First, we have to log into a particular server. Then, then when come to bottom, I can see create user filter option. So this is the first option we are discussing. So create user filter option. So I can go to create user filter option. And the next thing is, whenever I come to this option, I can see here all the dimensions which are available in a particular data source, sample superstore. So I want to implement row level security on region field. Okay, right? Because for each region we have different managers. So I want to implement row level security on a region field. So I can simply come to this drop down and I can simply select a region here. Okay, region dimension we can select. Now when I select a particular region, a window will be opened here. So in this window, first I can see my filter name. What is the filter name you want? So I can give some filter name here. Now we have two sections here. So this is the left section. In the left section, we can see all the users here. And in the right section, we have selected a region, right? So I can see all regions here. I can see central region. I can see east region. I can see south region. I can see west region like this. Okay. So on the left side, I can see all the users. So who are these users means all these are the users uh, who are able to access our Tableau server. So all these are users who are able to access our Tableau servers. Okay. Now what I will do is I want to implement row level security now. How I can do is so for example, I am selecting particular person, this person Venkat Ganta. So assume that this person name is like Chunk Maggie. Okay. So we don't have exact managers in our Tableau server, right? So what I'm assuming is, look, assume that this person Venkat Ganta is this chunk Maggie, and he want to access only each region data. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll select this manager, and I'll select particular each region. Okay. And assume that I will be selecting one more person like Venkat G, and assume that this person is Fred Suzuki, and this person should be able to see only South region data. So I'll select simply South region here. As of now, implement only these two, and assume that okay, as of now, implement only these two. So you have selected for Venkatji, he has to see only South region data, and this person like Chunk Maggie should be able to see only East region. Now let's click on OK. Now you see when I click on OK, you see that particular calculation field what we have created, that user filter is created here in this dimensions list. Okay, so this is a set actually. So you see this symbol, that symbol is a set symbol, and you see person symbol is there, so that is a user filter. So you can easily identify user filters what you have created like this with set symbol and a person symbol. Now this is a set actually. So set contains in members and out members. Now when I'll simply drag this calculation field into filter cell. That's it. Okay. I'll simply drag that calculation what I've just created into filter cell. Now you see automatically the particular person so now which person has logged into this server means this person. Okay, how to identify only this person is logged into Tableau server? You can see when you come down here, you can see here, I am the person who logged into this server. Because of that reason, I can see only his related data, East region data. Now I want to check uh, this is perfectly working for other users also or not. So I'll come to simply this drop down. I'll simply select other persons here. As of now, Chunk Maggie is the person who logged into server. So I'll select one more person where we have implemented, right? So I'll select this person. Now let's see, this person will see the South region data or not. You can simply select this person here. Now you see, when this person logs into this server, he can see his own data. Only South region data only he can see. One second. Okay, so hope you understand. So assume that, let me select one more person here. Let me select this person, particular person, creator Tableau. See, he is not seeing any data here. Why? Because while implementing this row level security filter, we have not selected that person. So that person is automatically going outside. Okay. So hope you remember sets condition, sets option. What is the meaning of set is? Let me explain for a second. So we have sets concept, right? So the set contains in members and out members. Set will give you only two values, in value and out value. Under in value, while implementing the row level security, we have selected two persons, right? So those two persons will come under inset, and remaining persons will go under outset actually. So only for these two persons only, these two persons only can see his own data, whatever you have selected. Okay. So let me come to Tableau. Now I want to edit this filter actually. So we have selected some person right here, creator Tableau. Okay, let's assume here this creator person Tableau should be able to see three regions of data. Okay, so this creator person should be able to access East region and West region data also. Why? Because assume that this person is the manager for those two persons, like that. Okay, so I'll explain you. So I'm just coming to our user filter calculation field and just go to this drop down and just click on the edit set option. Now now this person, right? So this person is logged into this now into the server. So this person is the manager for East region as well as South region. Assume that. So in real time, in real time also, for managers also we have higher level. For those managers also we have one more manager person also is there. So like that for Venkat, for this person and this person, assume that creator Tableau, he is the manager. And as he is the manager, he should be able to access this person data and this person data. So he should be able to access East region and South region. So what I will do is I'll simply select this person and I can select East region and I can select South region and just click on OK. Now you see how the Tableau is doing it. When this person logs in, it is showing East region data and South region data. Okay. Now I come to this drop down. And if you want to log into the original person, like you are logged into, I logged into Tableau server, right? So if you want to go back to you, I can simply click on reset option. So when I click on reset, I will be the person who is logged into this server. Okay. So when I log into server, I can see my own region data like this. So in a similar way, so we have implemented this calculation field like row level security here using create user filter option. And this user filter we are bring. So for example, assume that I want to implement the same row level security for sheet 4. So I'll simply bring my calculation field into filter cell. And if you go to sheet 5 or if you go to sheet 3, now when the user logs into a particular user logs into this particular sheet, he can see all others data also. So if you want to implement row level security for this particular sheet also, you can simply, we have to bring user filter into this filter shelf also. Okay. So I have created so many sheets. I have created so many sheets. So in which sheet you want to implement row level security, I can simply go to that particular sheet and I'll simply bring that use calculation field into that particular sheet. Okay, like that. So as of now, I'm using the user filter in the sheet 3 and sheet 4. In that way, I can implement the row level security for sheet 3 and sheet 4. If you want to implement the same filter by default for all the sheets or all the dashboards, right? Then we have one option, right? I can go to this drop down. I can go to apply to worksheets option. So we have seen this option while discussing the earlier so if you want to apply the same filter throughout the dashboard or entire workbook, I can go all using this data source option. By default, now it will be applicable for all the worksheets, all the dashboards. In with whatever the sheet I will create from this sample superstore for entire data source, it will be applicable. Using how to identify as this is as this filter is applicable for all the entire data source means whenever you find this single cylinder, that means this is a global filter. That is a data source filter that will be applicable for all the sheets, whatever the sheet you will create from this particular sample superstore data. Okay. So this is the first method we have seen. Now, now what I can do is I have implemented my row level security and I have cross verified also in the Tableau desktop. Okay, I verified in the Tableau desktop which user can see which data. So it is working fine. Now what I can do is I can simply go to server option and I'll simply click on publish to server, publish workbook option. Okay, I'm not showing like this. So whenever I can simply publish this workbook to Tableau server. Okay, so whenever you implement row level security, okay, one more while publishing your workbook to Tableau server, it will ask you one more option here that is called generate thumbnails as user. See, if you don't select this option, this publish option will not be enabled actually. Okay, so you have to select your name or you can select any other person name here. Okay, from this users list, you can select any one person. Then only this publish button will be enabled actually. Now I can select a particular folder. I can publish my workbook. I'll give my workbook some name here. If you want, you can give some description about this workbook or something. And I can select here what are the sheets I want to publish or what are the dashboards I want to publish to server. So I come to this data source section. So all the very important options. So I can embed password here. And instead of prompting the user, I can select embed password. So here refresh not enabled is selected. I can select allow refresh access like that. So I have to go through each and every option here. I have to check everything is perfectly. And I now I can simply click on publish option. Okay. Now, whenever a particular user logs into the Tableau server and try to access this workbook, like he can see his own region data. whatever security we have implemented, that security will be same will be implemented in the Tableau server also automatically. Okay, so this is the first option. And assume that in some cases, right? In some cases, assume that. So this is like when there is a region-wise implementation. When is like that, we can go for this option. Okay. Just give me a second. Okay. So let me tell you one more thing also here itself. So for example, we have implemented row level security now. Okay, it is working fine. Assume that I am taking India, or assume that I am taking US region. So in the US region, we have different states, right? We have state one, we have state two, like we have state three, and we have state four, like that. So we have different states within the US region. And assume that for each state we have a manager. For each state we have a manager or something like that. So as of now, when we take sample superstore, it is a small data. So it is having only four regions only here. But if you go to real time, the particular state are we may have so many states here, or we have so many managers, like manager one we have, manager two we have, or from the US region only. Just remove these states. From the US only, we have so many managers: manager one, manager two, manager three, manager four, like that. So we have so many managers. And whenever this manager logs into server, all these managers should be able to access the entire US region data. Or assume that instead of taking US region, take East region. For this East region only, we have different states or something like that. And whenever all these managers logs into Tableau server in that, and when they access the dashboard, they should be able to see all the East region data. So whenever we have large number of users, and it is very difficult for us to implement this type of security. So like what I have to do is, I go to create user filter option. I have to select a region here. So for example, assume that when manager one logs in, manager two, manager three, manager four, they should be able to see each region, right? So how to implement is, I'll select first manager one, and I have to select each region. Then I have to select manager two. Then again I have to select same each region. So like that, it is very difficult in real time to select all the managers and corresponding regions. So if you have any difficult situation in real time, like selecting large number of users and like that, what we will do is, so what we can do is, with all these managers, I can create groups actually. Okay, I can create groups. Okay. So I can create group one with US or East region, like that. Okay. So uh, it is similar to WhatsApp only. First in WhatsApp, what we have in WhatsApp, we will see individual our customers list, individual users list, individual person WhatsApp numbers. Then if you want to create a group, what you will do in WhatsApp? So I'll go to WhatsApp, I'll create a group here. And for this group, I will add all the managers, like manager one, manager two, like that, right? So in Tableau server also, we can do same thing. Okay. So let me show you Tableau server here. I'll show you overally. So when you come to left side pane here, you can see this arrow mark here. Okay. Sorry. So when you come to left side here in the Tableau server, so when you come to bottom, when you come to down here, when you come down, I can see I can see users button, I can see groups button. So if you want to create any group, first that person should be available in this users list. Okay. So this is how we can add the users in the Tableau server. See, as of now in the Tableau server, how many users I have? 6 users. So these are the 6 users. Only though these 6 users only can now log into Tableau server. No other person can access this server. If you want other person, like some different person is there, for example, you are the person, now assume that I am the person, I am selected for a particular client and I want to access this Tableau server. So what I will do first is the site admin will be there. That person has to go to this users option, go to add users option, go to add by user mail ID, something like that. And first we have to add that new person into this Tableau server using this option. Okay. And we have to provide some role to that person, like viewer role, creator role, like that. I will tell you this later. So if any person want to access the Tableau server, first he should be part of this Tableau server. So how we can make a particular person part of this Tableau server is, I can simply click on this add users option and I can add the persons. Okay. If you want to add a large number of users at a time, I can simply go to import user from file option. In a file, I can have 1,000 users and at a time I can access all the users. I can add all the users from that file into this Tableau server using this import users from file option. So assume that as of now, I have added only 6 members. Now I can go to groups option now. Now I can simply click on group option. Now I want to create new group here. So just go to add group here. Just click on the group option. So now I can give my group like US like this, or I can give like East region. So I'm just creating East group here. Just click on create option. Now East group is created. Now when you go to this group, there is no user in this group, particular group. We have 0 users in this group. Now I go to this East group and I'll keep adding my users to this East group. So now I will add manager 1, manager 2, manager 3, and manager 4. I will add these 4 managers to this East group. Now, when you just remember this, I will add these 4 managers, this particular East group. Okay, so like that, just add users. So like that, what I will do is I'll create so many groups here. So as of now, see, I have added these 4 members to this East group. So like that, I can create East region group, West region group, US group. Like that, I can create so many groups. So when you go to groups option again, now you see, I can see all the groups here. Okay. So I have created APAC group earlier. I have created Canada group. I have created East group. I have created West group. So first we will create groups in this way. Now I'll go to my Tableau desktop. Now what I will do is I have to refresh it actually. So let me click on reset option. No, I'm not able to see that. So what I'll do is I'll go to server option again. I can click on the create user filter and I just click on the region field. See, I want to implement row level security for a regions. So for that region, we have to select region here. If you want to implement row level security for a state field or for any other field, you have to select that particular field here. Okay, let's select that group here. Okay, now it is not able to catch that east group here, but still, but you see, I can see the groups here, whatever I have created earlier. Okay, so what I can do is instead of selecting each individual member, now I can select a particular group here. And for this group, I want to give access to each region like that. In future, for example, in future, a new user is coming to US region, new manager comes into US region. Now, that person also need to access the East region data only. Now, what I can do is I need not to do any development work actually. So what I'll do simply, I'll go to Tableau server. I'll go to simply a US region, US group. And for this, in this US group, I'll simply add that user, the manager, which came newly like that. Okay. So this is how we can, in this option, we can select individual users, or we can also create groups, and we can select groups also here. Okay. Okay. Now, now we have seen only one option here, that is called create user filter option. Now we will see is member of option. So is member of option also related to groups only. That is the reason I told you groups here. So now, what is the logic here is member of, is a function actually. Now, what I will do, so I'll go to my same, like, so now I will remove the user filter, what I have created just now from the filter shelf. I'll go to sheet 3. In sheet 3 also that will be removed actually. So now what I will do is, I'll just go to create calculation field. In this calculation field, we have one function which is called is member of. Okay, so for example, what I will do is, here I will give my uh, here I will give whatever the group I have created in the Tableau server. So this is the group I have created in the Tableau server, right? So under is member of function, I'll simply use this group actually. Now what will happen is, whenever a particular user who is part of this east group logs into the Tableau server, he can only he can see the data actually. Others will not see the data. So this is a different level of implementing row level security. Okay. So this is a different level of implementing row level security. So how this work means, for example, in the East region, I have manager 1, I have manager 2, I have manager 3, I have manager 4. Okay. Only whenever this person logs into the server, these persons should be able to see the data actually. Okay. Okay. Let me make it simple. So I'm just implementing this calculation like is member of each group. So this should be the group which should be sync up with the Tableau server groups. Okay. So in the Tableau server under groups, we have that group, right? We have just created that group, right? So this group should be that group actually. That should be a part of the groups, which is under Tableau server. So this is a calculation one. I can simply click on OK. Now, so this is a true false calculation. I'll simply drag this calculation into the filter shell. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Okay, hope you can hear me. So I have created a calculation one. I'll simply drag this calculation into filter shell. Now I can simply select, okay, by default it is showing false only. What I will do is I'll logs into this person as this person. Now I'll drag this into filter shell. Again, it is showing the same thing. Mm, 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 mm. See, I'll drag this into filter shelf. I'll simply select true here. Okay. So what will happen means when I select true here, and whenever a particular user logs into the Tableau server, and if he is the part of the East group, then only he can see the data. If the person is not part of the East region group, then he don't see any data. Okay, like that. Just click on OK. Now you see what will happen. So this person, like Nagamulu Kurmaya, who is the part of this particular East region group, because of that reason, he is seeing this data. Now, now it is not uh, like group wise data. So this option will work in a different way actually. Okay. Now assume that one more person is logged into this server, like this person, create tab, this person is logged into the server, for example. Now you see this person also part of this East group. Because of that reason, he can see the data. Now I'm logging to, I'm just select one more person here, like Venkat Ganta, this person. See, this person is not part of a East region group. Because of that reason, he is not able to see the data actually. So this option will work in this way actually. This option will work in this way. If any person is part of that particular East region group, then only he can see the data. The data may be anything. The data may be anything actually. The data may be East region, West region, or anything. If you want to provide that person access to the entire data, then we have to implement a row level security in this way. Okay, I'm just repeating one more time. So I have implemented this dashboard. Okay, I have implemented this dashboard and I am publishing this dashboard to the Tableau server. And when particular user logs into this dashboard, I want to show data to that particular person. Okay, and when a particular person, manager one logs into this dashboard, I want to provide him accessing the entire data. So what I will do, I will add that person to particular East region group and I will implement row level security in this way. So whenever any user who is part of each region logs into the Tableau server, then he can see the entire data like that. So it will work in that way. Okay. Now we will see third option, which is called so just give me a second. So like that, we can implement this calculation. For example, assume that okay. So as of now, how this calculation will work is when each region, when the if the users are exist only in the east region, east group, those people only can access the data. But what is my requirement is I have one more region also, right? I have US group also there. So if the US, if the any person who is in the US group, he also want to access the data, then what I can do is I can simply provide here R condition and I will add that group also to this calculation. Now, any person who is part of East region and who is part of US region can see the data now when they log into this particular dashboard. So this is how it will work actually. If you remove this first part, first condition, now any person who is part of US group, he only can see the data. No other person who is out of this US group cannot access the data. So this is how this calculation will work actually. So this is as member of, is member of, within single quote, we have to provide a group name. This group name should be matched with the group names in the Tableau server. Okay. Now we'll go to last option, which is called username function. Similar to use member of function, we have username function also there. So just bear me for 10 minutes here. So to explain this, Now you see, I have different users are there. This customer is there. He want to see his own orders only. Whenever a particular user logs into Amazon, if I log into my Amazon account, I have to see my own data. If this person logs into his Amazon group, his Amazon app or in website, he want to see his own data only. Okay, like that. So for this, we have to use a one more calculation, which is called a username function. So I will tell you first what is this username function will do actually. Okay. So first we will see what the username function will do. So in this calculation, I am simply writing only username function only. Let's just click on OK. Now I am going to new sheet here. In the new sheet, I'll simply drag this into row shelf. We'll see what will happen. See what this calculation, what this function is doing is it is automatically identifying which user is logged into this server. So as of now, you see here, this is the person who logs into this server. So it is showing his username here. Okay, we will check for this Venkat Ganta person, this is the username or not in the Tableau server. I want to verify that. So I'll go to Tableau server. I'll go to users list. I'll go to this particular person, Venkat Ganta, and I will see username here. So remember that username function will display these usernames. So this is the display name actually. Okay. So just I try to understand. So this is the display name only, but the original username is this thing. For this person, it is the username. This is the just simply display name only. For this person, this is the username. So it's same thing, right? Whenever you create Amazon account, it will ask you to log in with your phone number or your email account. So we have to provide email account, but the display name will be different. It will ask you your name also, right? That is a display name. You can provide your display name. Whenever you log into the Amazon, it will by default it will show you display name only, not the username, right? So same case here also. I'll go to Tableau here. Whenever a particular person logs into server, it will display the username actually. So here I can see this function will display the username here. But in general, I can see whenever you see here, I can see display name. Okay. Now assume that I am logging to one more person. I'm selecting one more person here, Venkatji. So it see whenever this person is logged into the server, it is displaying that person username. So how this calculation is working now is username calculation. Just click on OK. Just edit. So this username function, what it will do is whoever the user logs into the server, it will automatically catches that person username and it will display. Now I want to implement row level security like this. So within single quote, I am providing a particular URL here. Like so this is GVKR 807, right? Okay, so let me create one more calculation, not in the same calculation. Well, very simple things only. How to understand. So now I am implementing row level security now. Okay, as of now we are just displaying the username only here, but now I am implementing my row level security. When this username is equal to this username, okay, like that. So whenever this username is, so this username, what it will do, it will identify who is the who is the user logs into the Tableau server. So this username may vary based on the user who is logged into the Tableau server. Now on the right side, I am making it equal to this particular username. Whenever these two are equal, then only it will display the data. Otherwise, it will not display the data. So for this filter, I'm just using user filter. I'm just giving some name here, user filter. Just click on OK. See, you understood, right? Whenever these two are equal, whenever these two are matching, then only it will display the data, otherwise it will not display the data. Just click on OK. As of now, when this person logs into the server, then only it will show the this corresponding data. Just click on OK. See, here we have to implement some things here. Now I'll go to sheet 3. Now I will drag my user filter into the filter shelf. Just select true here. Just click on OK. So whenever this person is logged into the server, it is showing true here, and it is displaying all the users data. Okay, without any confusion, let me directly tell you what will happen. So let's drag the usernames. See, as of now, what is the problem in our data is this particular person is not part of our data. Why? Because it's the sample data we have taken. So what I will do is, let me tell you what I will do here is, now Aaron Bergman is there, right? Okay. Now we have to implement actually in real time. What will happen is the user email ID will come from one more file. Okay, let me tell you. So what I will do is I'll copy this entire worksheet data into a Excel file. So we have email ID here. We have to provide email ID of a person here. For this particular person, assume that the email ID is gvictor80. See, in real time, we will be getting one more file, one more table from the data source itself, that is called security table. Okay. So assume that this person is having like, let me explain you a bit later. Okay. See, I'm not taking for all the users. Why? Because there are so many users are there. But in real time, the database team will provide you a separate table with this list of usernames and their email IDs like that. Here, I'm not taking for all the users. So let's save this file. Okay, I'm not sure where it is saved. So the file name is B26 live versus extract file. Okay, live versus extract file. And the sheet name is sheet 2. So I'll go to my Tableau here. So what I will do is, for this sample superstore, go to the bottom left side and just click on the data source button. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll save this file in this my computer in the data folder as a security table actually. Okay. So in real time also, the database people will share you one more table, which is called security table. Security table. In the security table, we will have corresponding customers and their email IDs or their usernames. It may be a email ID or it may be a username. Or okay. So in interviews also you can explain the same thing. We are getting one more table from the database people itself, like that. Okay. Now I want to add that security table. So just click on the add option, go to Microsoft Excel. In real time, it may be MySQL database or something like that, or Oracle database. But here I'm taking Excel file only. So I'll connect to my security table here. So in the sheet 2, we have the details, right? Email ID and username. Just drag the sheet 2 here. See, I'm joining my sheet 2 with the orders table. In this orders table, just click on this arrow here. In this orders table, you see here, we have orders table and we have sheet 2. And in this orders table, we have customer name. In the sheet 2 also, we have customer name. So we have to join these two sheets based on the customer name here. Okay. Now let's go to our Tableau sheet. Now you see, now I have email ID also here or username. Just drag here. Okay, like that I can see the usernames and email IDs here. Now I'll go to my sheet 3 where I want to implement this row level security. Okay. So if you see here for this person, see for the Aaron Bergman, what is the username? GVK807. For Aaron Hawkins, what is the username? Venkata6737. Now I can easily implement my row level security. So in filter shelf, we have this user filter, right? Now I'll go to this user filter calculation field. Now let's make it simple. I go to this one. So instead of providing manually here, what I will do is we have username field which is coming from the database, right? I'll simply drag that field here. Okay. So on the left side, we should have username function, which will automatically identify the person who is logged into the server, and it will try to match it with the usernames which is coming from the database like this. It will try to match these two. When these two are equal, then only it will show the corresponding data. Otherwise, it will not show the data. Okay. So just click on OK. Now you see, Aaron Bergman can see his own data. Why? Because this person is now logged into this server. So this is the username who is logged into this person, Venkatji. Let me select one more person here. See, Aaron Bergman, he's seeing his own data. Now Venkat Ganta. See, now this Venkat Ganta is logged into the server. So it is his corresponding email ID. So now he can see his own data. So we have attached Aaron Hawkins to Venkata6737, right, in the Excel file. You see, for Aaron Hawkins, we have attached this email ID. But in real time, we need not to do anything. But in real time also, sometimes if the database people will not provide you this security table, we can do this. We can do like this in real time also. Sometimes they will provide you this username and email ID in Excel file also sometimes. Or sometimes they will provide you a separate table also, which may be in the MySQL database or Oracle database like that. What are the database they are using? Okay. So Aaron Hawkins is mapped to this email ID, and Aaron Bergman has mapped to this email ID. So because of that reason, whenever a particular user logs into this server, you can see his own data. Now, when other persons logs in, for example, when other person logs in, assume select create Tableau person, create a Tableau. When this person logs in, he don't see any data. Why? Because he is not part of this file actually. We have not assigned anything here for that particular person. Okay. So these are three methods. In interviews, if you are able to explain these three in brief actually, so they will ask you different questions in the interviews actually. I have only four regions of data. I have only four regions of data. I want to implement row level security. So I can go for just 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 go through this video one more time and see which option will work for you. Whether create user filter option will work, is member of function work will work, or username function will work. Okay. So if you want to tell that, okay, if you want to tell that I have worked for Amazon and I have worked for the same row level security, which customer logs into the server, he only can see his own orders. You want to see your own orders. Then you can tell this latest one, username function, whatever we have just seen. You can tell anything actually. Okay. Right. Okay. This is for today. So um, okay, just give me a 10 minutes. I will try to so we have completed everything about Tableau server also almost. Okay. But let me tell you about this Tableau server also. Which is for 10 minutes it will complete it. So in Tableau server, mainly we have two types of roles: Tableau developer and Tableau server admin. Okay. So in general, we are now learning about Tableau developer only, not the Tableau server admin. What the Tableau server admin will do is, see, we have two types of roles: developer role, admin role. When I say admin, if it is a Tableau server admin, what he will do is, he is the person who is responsible for installing the server and maintaining the server actually. Installing the server and maintaining the server and all those activities he has to see from installation of the server. Uh, if there is any issue in the Tableau server, right, he is the person who need to resolve that issue. Okay, for example, assume that one person suddenly some persons are not able to log into this Tableau server. There is a problem from the Tableau server side. So this person has to take care about that activities. So he is not involved in any of the development roles. He don't involve in any development activities. So he will simply install the Tableau server. He'll simply provide authentication techniques. What is the authentication technique we have to do? So in real time, when come to authentication, hope you know already AD groups. In real time, we will use AD authentication. It is nothing but a simple thing only. Active Directory. Okay, Active Directory authentication. What is the meaning of Active Directory means? For example, if you select for a particular client, that client will maintain Active Directory. In that Active Directory, you will be part of that Active Directory. That means that client, for example, that client may be having databases, that client may be having Tableau servers, that client will use email also, right? Outlook also they will use. So if you want to log into any server for that particular client, you should be part of the Active Directory. Okay? So if the person one is part of a Active Directory, this person one can access any server corresponding to that particular client. He can access email, emails, he can access databases, he can access Tableau servers. So he can access anything of that particular client actually. If you want to access like that, what they will do is they will maintain active directories. They will simply add you to that active directory. Okay, like that. So we have created groups right in the Tableau server. So that groups also will be maintained through Active Directory only. You can simply take in real time like this. We have created each group, right? So what they will do in the backend is they'll create one group, each group like that, and they will attach this Active Directory to this group actually, like that. Okay. So let me tell you one thing. So they will create one Active Directory group, AD group one, and they will attach all these users to this east group. And they will create one more Active Directory group 2. Okay, and they will attach US users to this groups, like that. So in the interviews, when they will ask you, you can say simply that we are creating groups through Active Directory. We are creating AD1 group and we are attaching that to east group, like that. So it is overall idea I'm giving you. So like that. Okay. So apart from that, you don't tell I'm Tableau server actually. You don't tell this option. This is particularly for servers only, server admins only. They will do all these activities, creating Active Directory groups and all those. Now, as a developer, you will be given any one of these roles: site admin, creator. Okay. Okay. Don't mix everything here. Okay. Let me take one more session on this Tableau server, and I will provide you clear idea there because it may take some time and you may feel like uncomfortable now in this class. Okay. Uh, Thanks for your time today. We'll meet tomorrow. Hmm? Thank you.